Hey guys, I'm going to be reviewing somebody else's draft, which will be nice for a change. This is Jaxguy. He's a subscriber to my blog and my Twitter, and chats to me on Moto. If you do all those things, I will review your drafts too. If that's what you want, I don't know. Probably some of you guys don't really want me reviewing your drafts. I'm just going to save draft blue-white, and yeah. I'm using zzballoon.com. It's Ben Peebles' Monday site. It's a hard name to apostrophize. Anyway, I think I said it right. It's a cool site. It will just give you different types of output out of a draft log or a, like Moto chat log or something like that. I suggest you check it out if you like what you see here. I don't actually want to make that full screen. That's like the worst feature of Windows 7, is that if you accidentally touch the top of your monitor with a window, it goes full screen. Anyway, we're ready to go. I've actually already seen his pick one, so just looking at the pack, it's, I think, a pretty easy pick of Grimlavamancer. The only other thing I think you can consider is Armored Warhorse, which I just like Armored Warhorse more and more and more and more and more the more I play this block. But I mean, I think it's probably a full 2 tiers below Grimlavamancer or something, rated on a 10-tier scale. Armancer's in the pack, so this will purge. A note on Grimlavamancer: I've been disappointed with him in Limited. Not because he's bad, but because he's not as good as in Constructed, which isn't a fair thing to expect him to be. But what I've just found is that it's difficult to actually get cards in your yard. Your lands aren't fetch lands in Limited, so they don't go in the yard. And then decks regularly only have like 5 or 6 spells, and so you're just relying on trading creatures to turn on Lavamancer. Beyond that, one thing I'm wondering about Grimlavamancer, have been wondering for a while, is if you do get him early, if it's good to go blue and try to take Ponders. Ponder just seems like the only card in the entire set which you can get pretty late. I'm going to call it fairly cheap, because late picks are the same as cheap picks, in my opinion. Maybe I'll write an article about that later. But yeah, you can get it cheap, and like, it doesn't hurt your deck. I don't think it's great for your deck. It definitely doesn't hurt your deck, but it fills up your yard. Of course, it's too early to think about just being red-blue, but I wonder how much extra value you actually get out of that after you take Grimlavamancer. Pack 2, god, I already showed the pick. These are going to be really hard to do without showing picks. But, well, I think everyone who's played any M12 can tell you that Vampire Outcasts is the most powerful card in the pack. The only question is, like, if you want to go into a second color with black, but red-black is a pretty sensible archetype. If you're going to be drafting red, you probably want black. They both have Bloodthirst creatures, and so they just sort of make sense together. Only other thing in the pack that excites me is Stave Off, pretty much, but you can get Stave Offs late. I think Stave Off is very undervalued. Do take the Outcasts, alright. Pack 3... it's a late Ether Adept. Like, honestly, I want to take the Ether Adept. If someone's going to pass me pick 3 Ether Adept, I guess a rare and an uncommon are gone. Yeah. Probably the right pick, though, is not Ether Adept. So it's a question of Blood Ogre and Child of Night. I don't have a great deal of experience drafting black, red aggro decks, but guess it depends on what you want to do. I think those two cards are pretty close. I suspect that Blood Ogre is what gets taken, because it is a more powerful card. But I think Child of Night has quite a lot going for it. Everyone knows it's a very good card. It's a Karl Merfolk with an upside. So, and Karl Merfolk is totally good in this format. It's also a 2-drop. In Black and Red, I feel like you're a little harder pressed to find 2-drops than in Blue and White. And well, I think the greatest thing about the card is that it doesn't care about Bloodthirst, because I really feel like Bloodthirst it's not something you should be building your deck around. Like, Vampire Outcast is just a great card, and so I feel like it's alright. We did take Child of Night, that's cool. I feel like it's alright to play that card and rely on activating Bloodthirst sometimes, but I'm not sure that you really want a bunch of Goblin Fire Slingers and stuff just to turn on the Bloodthirst mechanic. Out of this pack, it's a very weak pack. I think Tunneler or Piker either is better than Bloodseeker. I'm not sure which one I'd prefer. Maybe with a Child of Night already, Goblin Tunneler goes up, since that's effectively hitting for 4. I think I'd just go Tunneler. Like, it's not an outstanding pack, but whatever. Yeah, I don't think I want Bloodseeker. Bloodseeker seems like it does less damage than Goblin Tunneler, almost always. I guess maybe we're thinking about abandoning Red. I don't know, we've taken 3 black cards in spots where I feel like we could have taken red cards, so maybe that's what's going on. I assume we take Bloodseeker again. Although at this point I'd be seriously considering taking a white card, because I don't want to play Bloodseeker in my deck. I'm just checking to see if we've seen any other white. Not really. So this may just be an erroneous sort of pack, but there are 3 great white commons there. Not like the best white commons, but they're totally solid white commons. I might be taking Banalish Veteran out of this pack. I don't want to play Bloodseeker. I don't want to play 1, let alone 2. Alright, we take Griffin Sentinel. I think that's fine. I said Veteran because I think it's a better aggressive card. Attacks for 3. We already have a Bloodthirster in the pile, and we have a Child of Night and a Bloodseeker, so it seemed to me like we wanted more aggressive cards. Griffin Sentinel is totally fine. I think they're about the same power, but they're just very different decks. And with Griffin Sentinel in black, you don't really have a great deal of card advantage, and you probably actually have a little bit of card disadvantage, where you're going to be making sort of bad attacks or playing sort of bad cards in order to turn on Bloodthirst. And that makes me want to be a little more aggressive, but I don't hate Griffin Sentinel at all. Oops. We're taking Reassembling Skeleton. Spoilers. Can we just draft blue-white, please? No, it's okay. We can take Reassembling Skeleton. We're headed into a controlling black build after Sentinel and Skeleton. I'd rather be black-blue than black-white if I'm gonna try to make black a control color, like by quite a long way. This pack has nothing in it. I think I'd take Alluring Siren and just sort of morph into blue-black. I guess we're just hating the Garrick's Companion, but I don't know. Peregrine Griffin is totally great. Windmill Slam it. And Gate's worth considering. It's a playable, but well, we're not blue, are we? is that all of the white cards back? So at this point I think it's really good that we switched into white. Just abandoning the Grim Lavamancer, it looks like. I would take Armored Warhorse here. I think it's just a bit better than Celestial Purge. Purge, it's a sideboard card, which is very powerful. Armored Warhorse is, like, as a 2-drop, it defeats the format if you can cast it. The problem is just casting it. I just take the Naturalize. It's the only playable card, really. Garrick's Companion again, I guess. Pretty happy to take Stonehorn Dignitary here. If we are going to be a more controlling-ish version of Black-White, he's a great guy to have in the pile. These don't matter. Alright, Peck 2. We have a Skin Shifter, we have a Jade Mage. That just makes me rage that I'm not in green every time I see it, and then I remember that, you know, green is terrible. Not much for us, really. Assault Griffin is the best white card. Ring Flesh probably is the best black card. I'm not a fan of Dusk Hunter Bat. And we could also renew our interest in red. Probably with Gorehorn Minotaurs. I feel like Volcanic Dragon's better if you're going to be blue-red, but Gorehorn Minotaurs is better in the other red colors, because 6 mana just is a hell of a lot in this format. Anyway, given what we already have in the pile, I think Assault Griffin is the pick. It's very often that you see Gorehorn, Assault Griffin, and Aether Adept in the same pack, by the way. Skin Shifter, I guess we're rare drafting that? Or are we thinking about going into green? We have a couple of companions. He's a decent beater. I don't know, I think you just need a playable in white. Stick with white-black, in my opinion. Also, Jade Mage is a better green card, I'm fairly sure. But I'm assuming we're just rare drafting that. Alabaster Mage. You know, I've played a bit with Alabaster Mage, and sometimes it's amazing, and sometimes it's actually just worse than Child of Night, which, given how high people take Alabaster Mage, says something about Child of Night. I think I just take it, unless you want to go Super Griffins. You already have 2 in the pile. Alabaster Mage, probably. Griffin Rider, I wouldn't hate it. Child of Night, I would be sort of impressed. And I don't know, I would think about it a little more. Alabaster Mage, that's fine. It's a standard. 3 rows. Stormfront Pegasus just seems like a windmill slam. It's the only card in the pack. Dusk Hunter Bat, yeah, not too exciting. Pegasus is really good. Nothing again. Nothing again. Does not seem like we're getting a whole lot of black or red. Then again, there are no playables in this pack pretty much. I feel like we take Garrick's Companion and end up white-green, but I don't like it. Shoot, I don't know what I'd do instead though. I might just take the Pride Guardian. It's okay against some decks. Oh, cool. Take it. We don't want to main deck it, but you can definitely board it in. Wow, Lawkeeper. What are you doing still in this pack? Hello, sir. I would take that. Yep. Stave Off. Yeah, Wind Will Slam Stave Off. Such a good card. Benalish Veteran. Pretty easy again. Oromancer versus Warhorse. Once again, I like the Warhorse. We're getting very heavy into white at this point. What? What? It's like the second best uncommon in the set. After Mind Control, I take Jade Mage and go white-green here. That is just insanity. What else was in that pack? There are no other green cards in that pack. I guess it's a good pack. Lots of red drafters at the table, clearly. No, I take Jade Mage. It's not often that I want to be white-green, but when I get 9th pick Jade Mage, start wanting to be. Assault Griffin is fine too. That was a really good pack. Assault Griffin is maybe more prudent. We have a Skin Shifter, we have 2 Garrick's Companions, and we have a Jade Mage. Garrick's Companion and Armored Warhorse, what a deck. Rampant Growth, Fling, I don't know, Rare Draft if you want. Titanic Growth is fine too, yeah. I take the Plummet. I'm much more excited to play against the Gorger than the Plummet. I don't think white decks care much about Gorger. You have Gideon's Lawkeeper and Pacifism, and if we are in black, we maybe have unconditional removal for it, so... Well, Pacifism is unconditional already. Take the Alluring Siren. Good. Rock Egg? That's playable. Boarded in probably Gideon's Avenger. Ripping open pack 3. Yeah, that guy is real good, turns out. Especially with Gideon's Lawkeeper as well. Go figure. It's like the names have synergy. Anything else in the pack? Not much. We maybe get Peregrine Griffin or Siege Mastodon back. I still don't know what our third color is. Maybe we're back in red for Grim Lavamancer, which just got so much good white that we can do whatever we want, sorta. Sarah Angel seems like the obvious pick. Nothing else good in the pack even. That's a great pack to see. When you get to take the best card, and it's the best card by miles and miles and miles. Yeah, Pacifism here, of course. Pacifism again. Wow. So I guess the white signal early in pack 1 was a good read. Merfolk Looter is still in the pack. Look at you. But Pacifism, yeah. Number 2, Arbalest Elite, I really like. I think he's just like a good body. Armored Warhorse is the same body for 2, and I'm pretty happy to get that body for 4 in this format, which, like I said, Armored Warhorse, I keep on valuing him better and better and better. The only other thing I could see is like Phantasmal Dragon, and maybe sideboard into blue for 1 Phantasmal Dragon against decks that can't target. It's just a weird idea. But yeah, Arbalest Elite seems simple enough. Mind Rot seems fine. None of these cards are exciting at all. Tormented Soul, okay. I probably wouldn't want to play it, but I think it's a fine pick. I don't know. I don't know if you even want to play Devouring Swarm, and we already have 1 Mind Rot, so I think we're at the point where we just hate Skylander Drake out of this pack. I can't see our pile though, so maybe we're low on playables or something. We take Devouring Swarm. I don't really want to play it though, like I said. I think Siege Mastodon is way better than Disentome. You have to have respect for that 3/5 dude. And 5 mana, like we have a Vastwood Gorger that's a 5/6 for 6. Seems way better, right? But it turns out 6 mana is actually way more than 5 mana. Go figure. Like, he comes down 3 turns later on average or something. I guess I take Brink of Disaster. It's like situationally okay out of the board against some bomby decks. Just hate the Chasm Drake. Whatever, none of those are good. I hate the Merfolk Mesmerist, just in case someone tries to do that deck, although maybe you're okay with somebody doing that. Alright, so we got there. Let's look at the draft in spreadsheet mode. I already loaded it up, so you guys didn't have to watch me struggling through it. So yeah, we started red and just didn't see much red, which is fairly typical. And we also started black and just didn't see much black, which is less typical. Black is often a very strong color. It's interesting, look at how many more green cards we saw pack 3 than pack 2. Like one more, okay, not that many, but look at the power difference. We saw really good green cards pack 2. And yeah, we saw a lot of blue pack 3. I don't know, I'm fairly happy with the deck all the same. White, wow. White, black, blue, blue. One less blue. It's very streaky. Pack 1 we took 4-4-3-4-2, which is not really what you desire out of pack 1, but we managed to salvage the draft pretty well just with the depth of white. Yeah, I'm pretty upset that we didn't take the Jade Mage and play green. Look at, like, we actually got... Why did I say 7? That's wrong. But anyway, we got 3 green cards there, and this one's wrong too. Just the greens. I have to fix that. Anyway, we have, like, we would have had 4, 5. Well, they're Garrick's Companions though. Forgot about that. An Armored Warhorse deck. Green, white, or white-blue end up, in my opinion, being the strongest color combinations. What else is going on? Looking up here. Black and red just disappeared. I think what happens in M12 is people value removal very strongly and highly and stuff. Black and red has the most obvious cards that are removal. In actuality, removal is not so important in M12, especially since you end up in black and red and everybody else in the world seems to want to draft black and red. The first 8 we saw lots of white and actually quite a lot of solid blue. So yeah, I don't mind moving into blue earlier than we did and just going white-blue. And once we see the Jade Mage, I think I just want to go white-green, as much as white-green is awful. You can see, like, we started with red, which was the best color to begin with. Then we went into black, which was the best color for a little while. Then white spiked up to being the best color, and right about there we jumped into white. And yeah, but we just missed one transition here where green started becoming evidently very, very deep, and we were very heavily in white, and we didn't move. And maybe it's just that, like, it was too late to move, but I think we could have. I think 9th pick Jade Mage is the moment where you move. We have this graph. How do I unzoom? So we can see how color combinations looked as the draft progressed. And is that going to stay just as unreadable? Like, green's always up there, black-red is just always clearly bad after like the first 4 picks or so. And going into pack 2, I think it became fairly evident that white-green was the place to be. Ended up what, white-black, which is, where is that? It's down here. Yeah, I don't know. That's not so far off, but yeah. I think we did pretty well. We don't get to see the deck build, unfortunately, but it's an interesting draft, and I don't often advocate going white-green, but I feel like that was actually correct. And I'm pretty upset that we didn't see any Guardians pledges. That just seems unfair, but giving all those white creatures +2/+2, like, Guardian's Pledge is just such a bad card that I get a little excited when I get a chance to make it good. Alright, so I hope you enjoyed this recap. If you have any drafts of your own that you'd like me to look over, I suck at draft formats other than M12 right now, so probably choose M12 ones, and you can just email me. My email address should be on my blog. If it isn't, it's sflavel@gmail.com. which is just the first letter of my first name and then my last name, which is on my blog. Okay, yeah, hope you enjoyed. Bye.